How's it going, guys? I'm a top 100 trader on over 70 million coins, and we need to talk about team of the season investments. As you can see, we're on Saliba right now, and that's because some of the things in my last video were quite spot on, others maybe not so much. And as we're on Saliba, you can see he's currently down a bit. He's been a bit lower than he has been at the moment. As you can see here, just under 1.8 mil. But if we look at his 3-day graph, he is lower than he has been. Okay, you might think this is fine, but if we have a look at the cards that did fairly well out of packs last week, not Maignan, although he did, but we want to look at similar-ish price cards. Have a look at Modric. He hit his lows on Wednesday and he started rising into Thursday. Okay, and this is a pattern we saw across the board for the cards that did well out of packs, which were expensive. Okay, this is what happened. They started rising on Thursday. Saliba started falling on Thursday, and this is a problem. And combined with what I've been told by smarter people than myself, namely Sahel, we saw that Team of the Season cards last year, the Premier League Team of the Season cards, fell on Friday. Okay, and within 3 days, they lost $1 million in value. Well, Salah did, okay? Lost 1 million coins by Monday there, sorry. Which is a problem, okay? Because this is the same setup as it is this week, okay? Exactly the same setup. And what I mean by that is lots of people invest in these cards. They become over-invested, okay? And that can be a problem because when one person starts selling off, trying to sell their cards, and especially around the sort of boiling point, so on Friday, people are thinking it might start rising. If a few investors start selling their cards, it can trigger multiple people to start selling their cards too, and they see as the card falling, they're seeing the card fall in price, so they want to undercut and make sure their card goes before the card starts falling even more. And what this does is ultimately push the price down, okay? And this is what we might be seeing with these cards, with these current Team of the Season cards. It doesn't mean that all of them are going to perform badly out of packs. It doesn't mean all of them are going to fall and go in the grave, essentially. But the problem is, number 2, is that the next promo looks equally as good from last year as it does this year. So the team following the Premier League Team of the Season from last year to this year looks equally as good. And that's a problem because of Premier League tax, okay? These cards are priced up because they play for more popular teams and they also play in the Premier League, okay? So when the Bundesliga cards are equally as good, with lots of play styles, and people want to get full Team of the Season teams, they don't want to fork out this many coins for one player. With Trophy Titans, people are more willing to have their team with one good player in. But when you can have a full Team of the Season team, why would you settle for just one good player when you can go and buy 5-6 really good players for this price tag and then be very similar in game? You wouldn't waste your coins doing that, okay? So it could drive some of these prices down. So what I would suggest to do is maybe sell some of these cards before content time on Friday, okay? Thursday overnight may be a really good time to sell if you're looking to sell. Some of you may be fine with gambling, okay? Because some of these cards will perform fine out of packs, especially the sort of cheaper ones, the more affordable ones, the ones people didn't invest in, essentially. So you have to find the fine balance of a card being good enough, fairly priced, and not overly invested in, which is as much of a minefield as it sounds. Investments aren't typically what I'm good at, as you can probably tell. But moving forward, I would also maybe hedge against investing in these Team of the Season cards as readily and as easily as I said in my previous video. I don't think they will all perform as well, and for a key reason, and that reason being EVOs. Okay, as more people get Team of the Season cards in their team, EA are going to be thinking, our EVOs need to match these teams, okay? Instead of matching, what teams people had 2 weeks ago, when lots of people are going to be having teams full of Team of the Season cards, being able to EVO a card and then being significantly worse than Team of the Season cards won't be good for them, okay? It won't be good for them. So they're going to be releasing 3 playstyle plus EVOs, big stat boosts, big overall boost, things like this, things that make the card seem appealing and make the evos seem good, okay? And this is going to be coming into the game. As the promo goes on, I'm expecting more of these evos to be getting released, okay? And maybe better SBCs combined with that. Just because if they're all bad and don't get in anyone's team, then what's the point in completing them? EA are going to make some things, evos and SBCs combined, they're going to make them more appealing, okay? So I think that's going to be a bit of a melting pot. However, what we still can do, and what I think will still work from what I said in my video, the reason why I'm not deleting it is because I think there's still value in what I said at the start, okay? I still think lots of cards, window 2, like I mentioned, at 5 o'clock, not 5 o'clock, Friday at midnight, I think a lot of these cards are going to hit a bottom. Modric did hit a bottom earlier, but most of the cards hit a low at around midnight, and then they'll hit spikes through to around 2 p.m. the next day. Okay, so 2 p.m. Saturday, they should hit spikes. From 3 a.m. through to 2 p.m., they can have multiple spikes like this, okay? Watch the video if you're unsure, just ignore about the investments, okay? And if this happens for the Bundesliga cards, then window 3 will also happen, where they hit a low around 24 hours later, and then again in the morning have these spikes, which you can make profit on. Okay, but what I think will also be quite good, I should have the tab up here, is this window 1, the first 2 hours of the promo. As Gede had mentioned to me, I think less people will be opening packs for Bundesliga, rightly so, okay, it's not as hyped, but with the cards still being good and the demand still being there should be more cards getting this initial spike due to the fact that supply is lower, demand is still the same, okay? So you could see more cards having this window 1 than we saw in the Premier League, okay? Because people maybe came in and overvalued these cards straight away. Obviously they all dip, but I'm talking the first initial 2 hours of what a card looks like, slap bang in your face value. Does this card look good value? I think a lot of the Bundesliga cards may look really good value and cause the first spike in the first 2 hours. Okay, so that's something to look out for. Which cards? I'm not too sure. But usually it's cards that people have used over the game or cards from big clubs. Okay, so Dortmund, Bayern Munich. Look out for cards that kind of fit those criteria and which ones may actually perform quite well in the first 2 hours. So that's ultimately all I've got to say. I just wanted to clear up just in case anyone is going to be in on cards waiting for a Sunday high and it never coming and the cards have crashed 1 million coins, 500k, whatever it might be. But I did want to just clear up that there should also be, opportunities within that 1 hour to 12 hour kind of hold window. So keep your eye out for those. They should still be really good during the Bundesliga team of the season. I should have some more usual videos going through my trades from Thursday night and Friday night. So maybe on Saturday you'll be seeing that. And I should have a capture card on the way because there is a vicious rumour that I'm a 4-win player in champs when I at least get 5 wins. At least, I don't like to brag, but I definitely get 5 wins. So I'm coming with receipts. And I should be using some nice teams, nice players. And maybe some crap players, whatever anyone wants to see. I'll be doing some challenge account where I'm doing gameplay and trading with a bit on the line, maybe opening lots of packs with that account. You have to see what I've got in store for that. It might be shite, but we shall see. If you've got any ideas on what you want to see on the console with, tying in gameplay and trading, because ultimately nobody wants to see me play the game. I'll be keeping gameplay incredibly short, but every now and then I do score a nice goal. That is the extent of the entertainment. But thank you very much for watching. That is really all for now. I wanted to be a short video, but I waffle. And I'll see you next time.